All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Other Half Brewing Company, and they're out of both Brooklyn and East Bloomfield, New York, and this is their Midnight Crunchee. So they're calling this one an Imperial Granola Berliner Weisse that is brewed with, wait for it, blueberry, blackberry, blackcurrant, almonds, toasted coconut, vanilla, maple, cinnamon, and lactose. It comes in at 7.4% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just over 2 months old, and I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Dan, for hooking me up with this one. So thank you very much, good sir. I'll post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Dan sent my way. And it's been a while since I've reviewed a Crunchee on the channel. I think the last one that I reviewed was their double vanilla boysenberry Crunchee, sent to me by another good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Alex, and it was really good. To be honest with you, most of the Crunchies are delicious. A couple of them were misses for me, but for the most part, it's hard to go wrong with the Crunchies, and this one just sounds fantastic. So a little bit of a smidge here, and I guess I'm not going to be able to wipe that off. Anyway, let's pour this into the glass and see what we got going on. So, you know, I haven't been reviewing a lot of Other Half on the channel over the last 6 months because with the whole pandemic and everything, I really haven't been, you know, doing much. Honestly, I haven't been going to Other Half, certainly, and yeah. Anyway, let's give this a pour. Really cool for Dan to be sending beers like this my way, though. He knows I love Crunchies. He knows I love Other Half, so the fact that he sent me some Other Half in the recent beer mail, I appreciate it a lot. Anyway, what do we got going on here? We got this dark, pretty much a violet purple color. Can't see through it, very murky and turbid, about 1.5 fingers of this pinkish colored head, very creamy looking. Yeah, plays the role, I would say, for sure. Let's get a nose on it. Oh, what the hell? That's crazy. So, wow, getting a lot of the maple and almonds. And usually when it comes to these beers, a lot of times the almonds are just lost for me. Definitely get them here. Jammy and, you know, seedy blueberries and blackberries, mostly blackberries. Some vanilla hanging around as well. Now, most of the time, these smell like some kind of parfait. Like in this one, you could say, oh, it's a blackberry, blueberry, blackcurrant parfait, right? Drizzled maple syrup, the whole nine. This one really doesn't smell like a parfait. Has a little bit of a tartness to it. But I honestly don't know what to really say this one smells like, honestly. I'm getting a lot of the vanilla and a lot of the, vanilla, a lot of maple, a lot of almonds. What else there is? Cinnamon, not really toasted coconut, no. And the black currant's getting kind of lost. It's just more blueberries and blackberries for me. Smells pretty good though, to be honest with you. Definitely smells good. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Dan. Yes. So, I failed to mention it because I'm terrible at beer reviewing, but the one issue, if there's one complaint I have about the Crunchee series, for me personally, they don't usually bring enough sourness, not even tartness to the table. Typically, with all those adjuncts, usually very sweet, and a lot of times I just get like a mild to firm tartness, and it doesn't balance out the sweetness enough. This is like a high tartness, lower sourness. First thing that hit me was like this very acidic, almost puckering kind of sour sensation at the back of the throat. Yeah, this has a very high tartness, almost approaching sourness. I do feel like I'm gonna get heartburn because it's very acidic too. So body on this one at 7.4%. I'd say it's like medium, maybe a touch under, a little bit thin at 7.4%, but I would want this to drink more of like a 5.5%, 6% beer just because of potentially the refreshing aspect of this one. The mouthfeel, it's crisp. It's very effervescent, like just on the palate. There's a lot of carbonation. You know, I'm drinking so many of the fruit smoothie beers, like the Froth liquid lollipops and beer, and like the 450 North slushies, where there's not a ton of carbonation. They're more like about the fruit smoothie kind of feel to it, which is, you know, creamy and thick and pulpy. This is like an old school kind of you know, kind of sour. So it has a lot of carbonation. So, you know, it's almost like the basis of Berliner Weisse of some sort, right? So I like the body mouthfeel. I think they're great for what they're going for here. The taste, though, again, this is not overly sweet. I cannot stress that enough. Again, I like the crunchies that have a good balance, and this one has a good balance. The flavor profile is a lot of blueberry and black currants up front. Blackberries getting kind of lost for me, right at the tip of the tongue. Seedy. Not seedy, I wish I say seedy. Slightly jammy, but also tart and acidic. Pass through the palate, you're starting to get hit with some of those adjuncts. Maple, yes. Almonds, yes. You get the granola, it's an underlying character in all these crunchies. That's definitely, the kind of vibe it gives to it, which is why people think it's, like a parfait, like a, with granola and fruits and whatnot. But the vanilla's there, the maple's there. I don't get the cinnamon and toasted coconut. Now, this one being a couple months old, maybe the cinnamon and toasted coconut have kind of fallen off. But honestly, just when it comes to these beers, the crunchy series specifically, coconut and cinnamon usually get lost for me. But the sweetness kind of hits mid-palate. There's a little bit up front with that tart acidic like berry kind of character in the black currant. But middle of the palate's where you get the maple and the vanilla and whatnot. But then on the finish, it's tart, it's acidic, it's semi-dry. The sweetness kind of dissipates, and you're left with a very balanced Imperial Granola Berliner Weisse. I can't tell you this 7.4%. It drinks like it's 5.5. They always hide the alcohol well in these crunchies. Is this my favorite crunchy? No, far from it. I know there's a lot of people who really like this one, and I've seen numerous Untapped friends check this one and be like, "This is the best crunchy since so and so." For me, it's not the best crunchy since so and so, but it's still a damn good crunchy. It has a nice high tartness, low sourness. It has the sweetness you associate from so many of those adjuncts. It has the base Berliner Weisse. I'm almost getting this like weedy kind of sensation, but the tart acidic aspect, almost a lemony kind of tartness from the base Berliner Weisse is there. You get the granola. I'm getting pretty much everything outside the toasted coconut and the cinnamon. The almonds, they were a little bit more prominent on the nose in here. Slight nuttiness, but I wouldn't be able to tell you almonds on the taste. But seriously, when you put how many adjuncts are in here? Well, outside of the fruits, there's 3 fruits, and there's 6 adjuncts. Outside of the toasted coconut and the cinnamon, I get the other 4 plus, pretty much most of the berries and the black currant. So I think they did a pretty good job. When you have that many ingredients, 9 in a beer, you're not going to get all of them, or at least I typically don't. So I'm okay with a couple of them, not being there. I love toasted coconut though. Wish that was in here. I just don't get it. But yeah, really good beer. Not much more to say about it. So Midnight Crunchee from Other Half, I'm going to give it a high 4.25 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.35 out of 5. Delicious crunchy. Most of their crunchies are delicious. I think the lowest I've ever given a crunchy might have been like a 3.75. There have been a couple that are like sub 4. And those are the ones that I would say are the ones that I would not buy again. And I don't really care for them as much. But most of them are in like the 4+ range, where most of them are 4.25, 4.5. They're just so good. I love this series, and I'm going to continue to love it. Hopefully, continue to produce more. So, yeah. Anyway, if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Price and availability, I believe there's $22 a 4-pack, and availability. This is where it's starting to get crazy with Other Half. They are available all over New York State, pretty much. I mean, you can order stuff from their online store. Excuse me, they're opening their Washington, D.C. facility soon. I think you can online order in both New York and Washington. They're getting distribution to like local bottle shops all over Western New York. So Other Half, a lot easier to get their stuff now than it was a year ago. And that's awesome because they make some great beer. So definitely, if you can get your hands on them, check them out. $22 a 4-pack, bit expensive, but that's, look at all the adjuncts and the berries and everything. I mean, I get it. $5.50 a can, sure. I would easily pay that again for something like this. Some of their other crunchies are better, same price point. So anyway, thanks again to Dan. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.